Hello there, my name is Brianna and I'm a social media marketer and website developer. And I'm doing a video today basically giving you the rundown on how I ended up becoming a social media manager and website developer. I think everybody's story as they become a freelancer or an entrepreneur, everyone's story is so unique and so different, and I think they can be really inspiring for people that are working towards becoming that and making the jump from, being an employee to working for yourself is a super scary jump, and it can be filled with a lot of doubt and insecurity. So I'm hoping that my little story can give somebody out there some inspiration to do it. So let's just jump right in. Let's just do this thing. Okay, so first of all, I get this is like not the greatest quality, but we're just taking imperfect action. And that's kind of what entrepreneurship is all about. So I think it was about 4 or 5 years ago, I was living in Sudbury and I really, really wanted to become a fitness influencer because my overall goal was to be able to work for myself, have freedom of time, and be able to choose the clients or the people that I work for or work with, and just be able to work from anywhere at any time that I chose. That was really the big goal. At the time, I was like, well, I have to be a fitness influencer to achieve this. And somehow I just tripped and fell and ended up here doing exactly that, but with something I'm really passionate about. So becoming a fitness influencer at the time was what I was gung-ho about. So I was doing fitness competitions, I was growing my Instagram, I was working with brands to promote their supplements, I was doing online personal training as well. So I bought a course all about sales funnels, and you have your freebie, and then you promote your freebie on Facebook ads, and then you get people on your email list, and you try to sell your training to people on your email list. So I dove in hard to that course because I'm like, this is it. This is how I'm going to make money online. So as I was trying to promote myself online, I started learning and executing on different marketing tactics. Amidst all that as well, we moved to Toronto. I was waitressing for a little while. I wanted to find more of like a typical 9-to-5 job. How did I get hired at Jed North? Okay, so we ended up pitching ourselves to Jed North because we wanted to wear their clothes. So we reached out to their athlete manager, and I followed her on Instagram. And she made a post on her story basically that Jed North was looking for a new team member. So I reached out to her. So I ended up getting an interview, and I went in and I talked to Jed, and he hired me. He called me or emailed me a couple days later and hired me, and I was like so excited. I was really surprised too because I didn't have any traditional marketing experience, but I was in the fitness industry. I knew of all the influencers, so I ended up getting the job, and I was freaking thrilled. And I think I worked there for about 2 years. I did a whole bunch of stuff with the team there. So Uli and I would we'd book photo shoots with our influencers. I got to meet so many influencers. It was so cool. Like I got to meet Chris Bumstead, Paige Hathaway. I flew to Texas to shoot Logan Franklin. Skywalker, I flew to LA. Neil and I flew to LA to shoot with Skywalker. Like, it was the dream. It was such a fun job. But the people I worked with, I love them. I still love them to this day. I don't even know where to start on how things went downhill at that job, but let's just say Neil and I ended up getting a severance package as we were let go. As things were, as I could tell that my time was up at Jed North, I started imagining and thinking of what I wanted to do next. And living down south with all my family being in Northern Ontario, I really started to miss my family here. So I had this idea of I wanted to start some sort of a business that my sister could participate in because she's special needs. So I thought, okay, what are some things that Alana loves? Well, she loves coffee, and she loves connecting with people and seeing people and interacting with people. So I'm like, let's start a coffee roasting business on the island, and let's just go to the farmers markets. At that point, Neil and I are living on the island. We're living with family because we're still trying to get our feet on the ground. The coffee business is going pretty well. We're doing the farmers markets during the summer and everything. But we decided, okay, we want to buy a house. Like, let's start adulting here. The thing about being an entrepreneur and buying a house is the bank wants to see a couple years of tax returns, obviously. They want to know you're good for the money. So I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have to get a job. So I got a full-time job here doing customer service for Manitoulin Transport. Got that job in February of 2020. And we all know what happened in March of 2020. So I was actually allowed to work from home, even though I only had a bit of training. So I was doing my best to work from home, but unfortunately, my sister, her community living got shut down as well. So we were trying to figure out who in the family was gonna be able to take care of my sister. So I ended up getting my sister a few days out of the week, which became really difficult doing that, plus my full-time job. So basically I ended up not performing well enough at my job, and I was told either you have to come in and physically work here, or like we're gonna have to let you go. So I said, I can't, I still have to watch my sister, I'm sorry. So I ended up having to quit. That was super scary. But at the same time as that job was kind of concluding, I started getting people reaching out to me to do their websites and marketing, because I was putting feelers out in the community. There are a few women that I had networked with locally that ended up getting funding for websites and for social media coaching and training. So I did a bit of work for them, and then through word of mouth, people started reaching out to me as they were getting grant money to get these services done for their businesses. So it was kind of the perfect storm of like, I couldn't commit to taking this remote job. I couldn't commit to going into the office, so I had to leave it. But at the same time, I was getting a lot of new leads and a lot of new business for this freelancing gig. You know, so it was just kind of a trade-off that worked really conveniently and really well. It was scary. It was very, very scary because, you know, at that time, I didn't know how much money I could expect to make. So yeah, I officially started freelancing in 2020. And, you know, in 2021, I was able to do a whole bunch of great projects. Locally, I have some remote clients as well. I even worked with a client in Brazil actually in 2020. So it's been a wild ride. It's been a lot of fun. Of course, it's had its ups and downs, but I'm so happy to be here. And that's the story of how I became a freelance marketer and web developer. If you're someone who's trying to make it as a freelance website developer or social media manager or ads manager or anything like that, and you're looking for some advice, or you're just looking for someone to tell you like, hey, this can be done, you know, feel free to reach out to me. Like, I love connecting with people and I love giving advice. I've learned so much over these last couple years that if I'm able to share that with somebody, then that just makes me that much more happy. So thank you for watching. Bye.